Destination Sailing Channel is sponsored by Seawater Pro. If you are buying a watermaker, follow the link below and receive an additional set of filters with your purchase. If you speak with Mike at Seawater Pro, don't forget to mention Destination Sailing Channel. Hello and welcome to Destination Sailing Channel.
I am Carla.
And I am Simon.
And we are from the YouTube sailing channel Sailing Ocean Fox.
Over the past 3 years we have sailed over 26,000 miles through the Mediterranean, across the Atlantic and the Caribbean.
In this series we will be looking at some of our favorite islands, towns and keys we have visited during our adventure.
This will give you a fresh insight into your next destination, what to expect on arrival, places to stay, things to do, and how to find those necessary provisions, from propane to bananas.
So let's start with this week's location, Martinique, in the center of the Windward Islands in the Lesser Antilles.
We last visited in spring 2019 on our way north along the chain of islands and again on our way south. This is not a comprehensive guide to the island. There's a lot more places to talk about than we've actually been to. So this is a summary of where we have been.
Martinique is located 14 degrees north in the Caribbean Sea. Your journey to Antigua is around 170 nautical miles to the north. Rodney Bay in St. Lucia is 24 nautical miles to the south.
If you're coming from Bridgetown in Barbados, the passage is around 110 nautical miles from the southeast.
French is the national language as Martinique is part of France and part of the European Union. Creole is also the official language.
As this is a major charter centre for yachting, you will find that English is spoken in all the main ports. The courtesy flag is the French national flag.
So weather. Martinique enjoys a typical Caribbean climate, humid with an average temperature of 23 to 29 degrees Celsius. The average monthly temperatures remain remarkably stable, varying by only a few degrees year-round.
Martinique does lie inside the hurricane belt from June to November, so you need to take precautions.
So, interesting facts. The island has many black sandy beaches due to the volcanic origins.
Industries on the island include sugarcane, avocados, vegetables, bananas, pineapples, rum, oil refining, and of course, tourism.
So Martinique is the rum capital of the world and is home to 12 different brands of rum. So the local currency is the euro, as it is a real part of France.
It actually really is a part of France, and you will find that even the number plates on all the cars have the F for France and the stars for the
European Union.
They do indeed.
So time zone, the time zone is UTC -4. So cities, Port-au-France is the main city, but most yachts visit the giant inlet at Cul-de-Sac Marine.
Navigation, the approach into the cul-de-sac, the Marine Lagoon, is actually quite tricky. This is due to the fact that the channel snakes around reefs and shallow sandbars. The channel is well marked day and night. Equally, the shelter at Fort-de-France appears complicated at first look, but it is well marked and should not cause a problem.
So voyage. Region B, so the green square top buoys, will be on the left as you enter from the ocean.
Checking in. The Marina at Marina is a port of entry. As with all French islands, it is kind of a do-it-yourself approach. They have a computer terminals in the marina, shops, tourist information centres. You fill in the form online, they print it, stamp it, and you are clear to go. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
It's very simple system, very good. So this check-in could be free. They may ask for a contribution or they charge up to €5. It's up to you, really.
Yeah. You have to be a little bit careful because the keyboard comes out as a French keyboard. Therefore, it's not a quirky freeboard. So all the things are in the wrong place. And I found that really difficult at first.
Doesn't mean they're in the wrong
And
place.
also, you have to do a drop-down menu, and they list all the countries. And for example, the UK is Glandia Britannia.
Yes,
And
yes.
so you first of all, you don't see it, and then eventually you do realise that's what it's all about. But first time it is a bit tricky, but then it does get easier, to be honest.
Yeah.
The Marina, there are many to choose from with up to 640 berths. This is a huge charter location, so it can be really quite full on the weekend.
So vets, this is a great place to visit the vet, as they are licenses under European Union regulations. So you will have the the pet passport stamped, and everything legal. And any document, it will be legal.
If you've got a European an animal with a European passport, this is the ideal place in the Caribbean to actually sort anything out at all, isn't it? Healthcare is excellent. If you carry an EU health card, you can claim back part of the fees when you return home.
But healthcare is not expensive. If you're required to see a doctor or have a scan, etc., it's quite cheap, actually.
Yeah,
yes.
It really is, yeah. Dinghy docks, there is a dinghy dock. You just rock up in the marina and park your dinghy, to be honest. Nobody actually worries at all.
No.
And the gates at the end of the marina, pontoons are rarely closed. So it's kind of like you'll see that there are loads of ribs there. But do be careful, because I would recommend that you lock it, because I was reading on Noonside that they still do have ribs stolen. So I think it's definitely a sort of place whereby you take your rib out of the water at night and make sure it is locked up.
Yeah. Anyway, you should lock your dinghy. It should be a procedure. So Boatyard. There is a Boatyard. Karen Antilles is just to the left of the marinas and has an 80 and a 40 ton travel lift. You can get almost any type of work carried out on your boat here.
This is a massive travel lift, 440 ton. They can certainly take some big cats out there and some big gym palaces. So if you're in this part of the Caribbean, your next bet is probably Antigua for such a big lift. Anchorages, the government is encouraging the yachts to take mooring buoys, and there are many in the harbour. We actually took a mooring buoy, and we were there for about 24 hours before somebody came along and said, are you actually staying on this buoy? And we said, well, no, we just hooked up for a little while, and so we had to move out, didn't we?
Yes.
But we actually went and anchored. There are anchorages either to the east or to the west of the main mooring buoy field, and there are a lot of other anchorages dotted around the island.
So fuel is available at the marina. The fuel dock is on the outside of the berths.
There is water and electricity at each berth in the marina. It's 220 volts by 50 hertz. Electricity is reported to be included, but water is metered.
So propane, the 3 kilo camping gas bottles are available at the chandlery in the marina.
Yeah, so it's typical of European Union type places, isn't it? And this being part of the EU, of course, it's the 3 kilowatt camping gas bottle. Chandlery, as there are so many boats, the chandlery is extensive. If you've come from Europe, this is your best stock chandlery shop that you'll find west of Las Palmas. Absolutely incredible, absolutely fantastic. Car hire, there's plenty of car hire companies to choose from. The road just opposite the marina, you'll find some shops along there. And being part of Europe, they drive on the right. Banks, there's plenty of ATM machines dotted all over town.
So supermarkets, there are lots of supermarkets around. The larger ones we found was Massy Stores and the French chain Carrefour.
There is a large DIY store to the north of the island. Boatyard DIY store should have nearly everything you need. It is one of those vast places.
So Sailmaker, there is an old sail loft at the marina.
Destination Sailing Channel is sponsored by Seawater Pro. If you are buying a watermaker, follow the link below and receive an additional set of filters. If you speak with Mike at Seawater Pro, don't forget to mention Destination Sailing Channel. Check out our video when we installed our Seawater Pro watermaker.
Okay, so history. Christopher Columbus chartered the island in 1493, but it was not until his fourth voyage in 1502 that he landed. The island was inhabited by indigenous Indians who called the Martinique the island of the flowers.
At the Treaty of Paris in 1763, which ended the 7-year war with the British, the French gave up all of Canada in order to regain Martinique as well as the neighbouring island of Guadeloupe. So what to see and what to do?
So this is all about beautiful Caribbean scenery beaches, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, the whole island, most of the island is a national park. It's stunningly beautiful, and as Carl's just said, it's got some wonderful beaches.
Yes.
And really, that is what you're going to find here. One thing, the diving is supposed to be spectacular around the island with many dive spots.
The island has many anchorages to choose from along the Caribbean and the Atlantic coast. This coast is sheltered by the reefs.
Famous for the super destructive eruption of 1902, the only volcanic disaster on French soil in history, Mount Pillai soars above the Caribbean clouds on the northern side of Martinique. And I would imagine it's really quite spectacular to go up there. And if you go up to the top, I'd think you'll be able to see all the way to Antigua and all the way down to St. Vincent.
The food is spectacular on the island as it mixes the Caribbean style with the French cuisine. What an ideal, isn't it?
Absolutely perfect, yes. Connections are international flights with flights to the US and to European cities.
Thank you for listening to our channel.
Just a reminder that you can see our adventure on YouTube at Sailing Ocean Folks.
Yes, it is episode 48 and 49, and we will put a link on the description below.
Destination Sailing Channel is supported by Seawater Pro. If you are buying a watermaker, look up the link below and receive an additional set of filters with your purchase. You would also be helping us to produce these free podcasts and videos.
You can listen to Destination Sailing Channel as a podcast. Just search for the channel on your preferred podcast platform.
This is Simon and Carla from Sailing Ocean Folks on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all the major podcast platforms.
Until next week, fair winds wherever you are sailing.